Good evening, Brian Allison from Newtown. Really some incredible stuff we've been hearing all day, and for the better part of the day as you were tuning in, we've been at Danbury Hospital to give you updates on the victims that were brought there. Now, to give you an idea, around 9:30 this morning was when the 911 call was initially received by state police and by Newtown emergency management officials, and around 10 o'clock this morning is when the hospital got notified that they needed to be prepared for a mass shooting event. Now, just to give you an idea, and if you can look at some video from earlier today, Danbury Hospital was essentially a fortress, basically locked down with state police, with tactical units, with SWAT teams, all along the perimeter of the hospital, but mostly grouped around the emergency room, where there were units with automatic weapons, and people were checking in with IDs, and if you didn't have any business being there, you would be turned away. Now, at this present moment, the hospital is open and no longer on lockdown, but officials tell me that they were in what was called a Code Silver lockdown, which is essentially a mass casualty event in which they have to prepare for people coming in. Now, officials there tell me they had more than 100 trauma staff that were on hand to deal with any victims that might have been coming in, and they had 4 trauma units that were also opened up in preparation for what was going on. Now, earlier today, hospital officials did say that 3 patients were brought to the emergency room there at Danbury Hospital, and we have learned that the 2 of the 3 people were children. 1 of the 3 was an adult, and those 2 children we do believe have died, and that's according to Connecticut State Police. The condition of that other person, that other adult, we don't know at this hour. We're still working to verify that detail, and we've been hearing some conflicting reports, but we are working to verify that. Now, just also to give you an idea, a very chaotic but calm scene at Danbury Hospital as officials brief the media as to what they prepare for, and basically they go through drills to prepare for anything that might come their way, and God forbid a situation like this ever were to happen, they would be ready. And we also spoke to the chief of the emergency room, who said that all 3 victims were gunshot victims, to give you an idea of the scope of what they were dealing with. Now, as far as the mood goes inside the hospital, I did have a chance to talk to one man, and here's a little bit of what he had to say.
I came down for an appointment, and the TVs are on, and you know, everybody's kind of glued to the TVs, and it's just everybody's very upset. A few of the nurses are crying and stuff, and it's just you know, we just heard that there was 27 people that were killed, so it, you know, really kind of hit home to everybody.
Some strong emotions coming out of the hospital tonight as people still continue to mourn the loss of these victims of this shooting tragedy. And to also give you an idea, those 3 people were brought to the hospital within 5 minutes of each other, so first responders acting very quickly to try and save some lives here in this tragedy. We're, of course, continuing to monitor the developments coming out of Danbury, and we'll have the very latest for you on ctnow.com and, of course, throughout this newscast. Reporting live in Newtown tonight, Jeevan Vittal, Fox, Connecticut.